All right, Rob, thank you so much for putting yourself out there for our veteran job seekers. Like we always say, we don't follow companies, we follow leaders. So if you could you give a little bit about you, your experience in the Navy, and what brought you to this moment at Scalar?
Hey, Justin, absolutely. I appreciate your time. In 2009, I joined the Navy as a nuclear electronics technician, went through standard boot camp and Megan Nuclear School down in Charleston, South Carolina, and then up to Schenectady, New York. From there, I was stationed in Pearl Harbor for about 5.5 years on board the USS Louisville, where I qualified senior rate and slowly grew into leadership positions throughout. From there, I went back to Charleston as an instructor and finished out my time teaching all of the little Navy nuclear want to be's
Yeah.
as children. So that was pretty exciting for me. Eventually decided that I wanted to start a family and chose to make the decision to get out so that I could spend time with my family and not be on deployment on a regular basis. From there, transitioned home, made my way back to Washington, where I grew up, and ended up getting a job with one of the major UPS manufacturers. They sought me out. I didn't even know that UPSs existed. Didn't know what they did or anything, but they sought me out and put me through training and heading back to North Carolina on multiple occasions to go get trained on different types of UPSs. And over the course of about 3.5 years, qualified on all of that equipment. From there, we were in a position where there was not really any additional room for growth. Just kind of stuck as a UPS technician. So with our powers combined, we proceeded to start building this from the ground up, acquired a bunch of customers. We have an amazing sales side of the house that's selling service. And then we have our service technicians, myself included. I am regularly out in the field as well as doing a lot of the back house stuff and preventative maintenance scheduling, things like that. Ultimately, we are now in the position where we've got a pretty good grasp on what we think we can acquire in the Portland metro. So we need to expand to the Seattle metro. The sales side of the house on both product as well as service has added some team members up in the Seattle area, which is allowing for us to be able to add some team members on the service side of the house to support them as well as ultimately trying to take down another market.
I will tell you, unfortunately, Nathan's not on, but as a business owner, meeting another business owner that cares so much about their people, we'll get into kind of the compensation on the back end, letting them be bought into the success of the company is probably the better way to say it. It's just really, really cool. So you guys have established yourself and your brand in Portland. You are now replicating that success in Seattle from the sales and service side. And next step is to bring that technical asset in there to start fulfilling that service. But first they have to get trained, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they'll take the job in Seattle, and then you and your team are going to invest in them. How?
That's correct. So we are what we would consider brand agnostic. So we don't care what type of UPS, what manufacturer it comes from, whether that's Eaton, APC, Schneider. We're going to utilize our knowledge of how a UPF operates and utilize the service manuals that are downloadable online and be able to provide top-notch service to the customer regardless of brand. That being the case, though, we do need to have those certifications from the manufacturers that allow us to be quote unquote certified on
Oh, yeah.
and so there is going to be quite a bit of training over the course of the first 6 to 9 months. There's going to be trips to everywhere from Houston to Plano, Texas, Friendship, Wisconsin, Southern California. We're going to get trained up on all of that stuff. Additionally, because the majority of the UPSs that we have under contract now are located in the Portland metro, there is going to be heavy travel from Seattle down to the Portland area over the course of that first few months for on the job training with the local tech here in Portland.
So you'll get the education certification and you'll get the hands-on.
Correct.
Great. And that being said, this personality that we're looking for is that, you hear so many times, I just wish somebody would invest in me. But what people forget is when somebody invests in you, you got to put your time in, right? You got to give up your time. And so you got to be willing and wanting that investment and seeing the value of getting that investment. And then also with a company that is young and growing like this, we're not looking for a racehorse that says, hey, that's not my job. My job's this, right? You're looking for almost that curious personality that is going to do the job, want to enjoy the job, but also be looking for ways to help.
100%. Yeah. I would say the most fun part of this job is that I'm always learning. I'm always learning something. I think as far as just growth and development as a person, as a human, you've got to always have that desire to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and learn something new, figure out how you could help someone in a situation that needs it. It's absolutely extremely important for your own growth as a person.
Yeah. Right. And so what I like about this is you're going to be treated like an individual, a human, right? You're not a data point of 100 field service techs. So you're getting that specialized training, that uniqueness. And then as far as like, hey, what does 5 years look from now for you? Right? Hey, what impact you're going to make on the mission? Right? What are you going to be the face of Scalar in Seattle? Are they going to call you the Scalar guy or gal? Right? And if you're that face and you're building that good trust and rapport, the sky's the limit.
Agreed.
So from a skill set standpoint, what do they need to be a safe hire? What are you looking for from that skill set understanding? Hey, if you have this and you have this desire, apply. What makes that person a safe applicant?
I would say the obvious when it comes to UPS is we're working on electronic equipment. It's kind of a mix of the electrician side of the house as well as the electronics technician side of the house. I would say having a basic knowledge of electricity, current, voltage, realistically, that would be enough to get started as a junior technician if you have a basic understanding of electronics, electricity.
So an O-level ET on the flight line is worth talking to.
100%.
Aviation electrician flight line worth talking to. Okay. And of course, the nuke, EM, ET, the FCs, all those rates are worth talking to.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Ultimately, it's really a take your baseline knowledge and then apply it to all of these different types of UPS. We get put in situations a lot of times. There's been UPSs that have been completely eliminated end of service like 20 years ago that we'll run into. And I have no idea what those UPSs did or operated as 20 years ago, but I've got a customer that's asking. So a lot of times it's kind of on the fly, let's utilize the base knowledge that we have and figure out how this system functions for the customer right there on the spot.
Yeah. So if you're a manual jockey that you need the manual to touch anything, this may not be for you. It's good because you'll learn it to train, but you still have to have that creative mindset when it comes to troubleshooting, right? Because you don't know, you may get into this antiquated equipment.
That's correct. And quite frankly, when it comes to the UPS manuals for all these manufacturers, they generally are not going to troubleshoot down the component. 90% of them are going to have a list of possible faults. And the answer to those faults is to contact the manufacturer.
That's what I was going to say. First echelon maintenance, anything else, call us. We'll come in.
Exactly. That doesn't work. Now, that's not to say that the manual is not used. We're always in the manuals, but a lot of times having that understanding immediately up front is going to provide you a better resource than the manual is.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then we didn't talk about comp, but it's a salary-based role. And then what happens, what Nathan's so great at is once they reconcile the business end of year, he shares the wealth with everybody. And so when you get into the interview process and you get to that point, they're going to talk about the vesting and how those bonuses work. But to me, that's what really, really excited me, that you have an owner that's talking about, hey, they're the ones, right? They're the ones executing the mission. They're the ones that should be compensated, especially the field service, especially the ones going out there every day. So I really like that. Is there anything that you wanted to get across in this conversation we haven't?
All right, I'm going to hit the cliche. The cliche is that we are a family and we operate together, and nobody ever wants to hear that, and everybody does want to separate work from home. But I would say, coming from a submarine where I had my tight knit family that was my second family, and then going to corporate America and seeing how I was just a number, and then coming here and meeting this group of people between the sales and service side of the house, it really is a family. We do all take care of each other, and we all have each other in mind with every decision we make. We just operate as a team, and I don't know that I could have found a better group of people to be around anywhere else in the world. It's pretty wild. And you've alluded to it a couple of times. The owner cares so much about all of our well-beings.
Yeah.
He literally stresses himself out day by day, even if we're being successful.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see it.
All
You
day.
can absolutely see it.
Yeah.
That's what made me so excited. Like that was like, all right, this is a safe place. Let's go. Let's get vets in here. It's a safe place.
Yes.
That's
It's working for the small business. It's a lot easier, right? When it comes to sick time, holidays, vacation, whatever it is. When you're working for a small business, yes, vacation obviously has to be planned because there has to be coverage. But when you need to take a day off, take a day off. If your kid has got a musical at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, lock it off on the calendar. It's yours, right? We just have to take care of each other so that all of us succeed. But ultimately, this place is just so much fun. It is. I'm always learning, and on top of that, I know that every single person here has my back.
well, and again, that's finding a safe place where somebody's going to invest in you, having a servant leader that cares about you, and just, being able to support your family and learn and grow every day. That's what we want. This is great. Well, good. Well, all right, Rob, well, we have what we need. We're going to get to work getting the right human sent over to you ASAP. But thanks again for putting yourself out there. And I'm excited to get those candidates to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Justin.